Hello and welcome to another episode of Kyani Wellness TV. My name is Dr. Andreas Boettcher, and in this episode we're going to talk about one of the most overlooked benefits found in the power of nutrition. Often known as the miracle molecule, or what we call the power of nutrition. Now, this mysterious molecule in 1998 actually won the Nobel Prize because of its profound effects throughout the human body as a messenger, as a signaling molecule to increase absorption, to improve blood flow, to vasodilate the blood vessels, to supply oxygen to tissues, and of course to improve cardiovascular health, which is the leading threat to our health here in the United States, with over 600,000 people dying from cardiovascular disease alone. Now, originally this miracle molecule known as nitric oxide wasn't known as such. It was known as the endothelial relaxation factor. We knew there was something that was in there that was relaxing the blood vessels to improve that oxygenation, to help maintain 33,000 miles of arterial blood flow that is found throughout the human body. It is the largest organ by far and is the most critical organ in maintaining a healthy heart and of course healthy brain. We often hear about the heart attacks and the strokes, but in most of those cases the heart and the brain are actually fine. They're designed to outlive us. It's the information highway, the blood vessels themselves, that are often breaking down, becoming brittle and soft, building arterial plaque, breaking free, causing that heart attack or stroke or high blood pressure, which is one of the leading causes of cardiovascular disease and stroke. Now, not to mention its profound cardiovascular effects, but when you look at nitric oxide, I want to give you a high-level overview of some of its tremendous effects throughout the human body. As I was preparing for this video, when I was just thinking about the power of nutrition, I thought I couldn't do this molecule complete justice without giving you some of the other tremendous benefits that it does, and in future episodes I'll break some of these more down individually. From the cardiovascular system, as we've talked about, critically important to relaxing blood vessels, lowering blood pressure, maintaining a healthy blood pressure, circulating blood cells, heart function, and nutrient exchange, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and so forth. Respiratory tract and increasing blood flow through the lungs and relaxing airways. Really important in maintaining healthy oxygenation of the tissue. And without oxygen, we can't think, we can't perform, we can't exercise, we can't move. We all know the benefits of what oxygen provides for us. Not to mention the musculoskeletal system, improving oxygenation of muscles. This is incredibly important for anyone with a physically demanding job, high levels of stress, exercise, athletes, endurance athletes, bodybuilders, and so on. Increasing energy and higher levels of endurance and decreasing lactic acid production, which is often that burn that we feel that when we're working out. Not only that, but nitric oxide has also shown to increase time to failure for endurance athletes, thus improving performance. Cellular function, reducing cellular death and turnover, new blood vessel formation, nervous system health, and helping to promote a natural resting state. Pain management and memory improvement. Yes, it has a strong anti-inflammatory effect and can promote healing from wounds. And it's often been studied, and there's actually been some other articles that I've been reading recently on anesthesiology and the important role of nitric oxide in hypoxic conditions when obviously they're performing surgeries and there's no blood flow happening at the moment to those tissues, and the role of nitric oxide is actually boosting to help increase blood flow to a hypoxic tissue that may have temporarily been induced due to the surgery. Then you have the immune system, and regulating inflammation, improves infection fighting ability, improving the immune system. The gastrointestinal tract, as well as enhancing metabolism and nutrient absorption, and of course sexual health, both male and female performance. Now, for the purpose of this video, what I would like to focus on is nutrient absorption. Because as someone who's watching this video, it's my guess that you are doing your best or always looking for ways to improve your nutrition so that you can get the maximum ROI from your hard-earned efforts, working in the kitchen, from the grocery store to the farmer's market, and of course your supplements. You're spending your hard-earned dollars on your supplements. You want to make sure that you're getting every single benefit from every vitamin, from every mineral, from every antioxidant, to every polyphenol, to every micronutrient that these supplements provide. You want to get the maximum benefit from these antioxidants and of course from your hard-earned efforts. If you're going to go to the gym, you might as well get the best ROI that you can. So what I want to do is I want to help you get the most from your efforts. And this is one of the more little known benefits of nitric oxide, because many will go to great lengths and spend lots of money on supplements and do absolutely nothing for nitric oxide. And I'm talking about the benefits of nitric oxide, as you see here by the previous slide, beyond the fitness room. It's heavily known in the bodybuilding and weight training community, but lesser known to the average person that is just wanting to live an active life, who has other interests besides living in the gym and working out all the time, and wants to be able to maximize their health potential. And so what I want to talk to you about are some studies that actually highlight the important role that nitric oxide has in nutrient absorption. Now, this was an article in 1999 in Gut that talked about the role of nitric oxide in intestinal water and electrolyte transport. Here's what they concluded. Nitric oxide could be involved in intestinal water transport either by acting directly on the epithelium, which is a single cell layer inside the lumen, okay, the opening of the blood vessel that actually secretes and produces the nitric oxide, or by stimulating neuronal reflexes through the nervous system, or by stimulating release of other agents from the epithelium itself, and by affecting mucosal blood flow. And where blood flow goes, energy goes. And where energy goes, output creates a return. So it's vitally important that we want to have optimal blood flow in our times of ingestion so that we can get the maximum from our nutrition efforts. Furthermore, this same article concluded that nitric oxide modulates absorption by maintaining microvascular villus perfusion. In other words, nitric oxide controls absorption. It's a signaling molecule that is designed to help control and modulate many systems in the human body, and blood flow being one of the biggest ones when it comes to getting our biggest bang for our buck when it comes to our hard-earned nutritional dollars and of course our supplements. Now, the American Heart Journal talked about the hemodynamic effects of nitroglycerin and long-acting nitrates. Now, nitroglycerin is used by the medical profession to help those that are suffering from heart ailments as a way of regulating normal cardiovascular function. And what does nitroglycerin do? It supplies nitrates. And so that's exactly what we're talking about here. And here's what they concluded, that nitrates also increase blood flow in the splanchnic and mesenteric blood vessels. Now, what does that mean to you? Well, these are the vessels that bring blood flow to the intestines where your nutrition is actually absorbed. Nutrition research did a very interesting study, in particular as it relates to older adults. Now, one of the challenges that as we age, that our body's ability to produce nitric oxide can decline, and often does. What they found was that plasma nitrate and nitrite are increased by a high nitrate supplement, but not by high nitrate foods in older adults. And I will talk about that a little bit more in a moment. But here's what they concluded. In healthy older adults, a high nitrate supplement consumed at breakfast elevated plasma nitrate and nitrite levels throughout the day. This observation may have practical utility for the timing of intake. So it's very important that, from this study's perspective, that you consume nitrates earlier in the morning, especially for those that are active as older adults. Now, to understand that, I do need to break down just a little bit of some biochemistry. So hang in there with me. I promise to try to keep this simple for you. Now, there's two main pathways in which nitric oxide is produced. You have the L-arginine nitric oxide pathway, where arginine, an amino acid, combines with oxygen and then is broken down via the nitric oxide synthase enzyme to convert it into nitric oxide, where it can then yield its biological effects. Then there's also the nitrate, nitrite, nitric oxide pathway. Say that 3 times fast. Now, it's not necessarily that one is better than the other, although the nitrate, nitrite, nitric oxide pathway is a bit quicker and a little bit more direct. What science shows at the time of the recording of this video is that as we age, this pathway to NO becomes declined, becomes less efficient. Now, there is a step before here. You'll also see citrulline, which is found in watermelon, is a great source of citrulline, where citrulline, another amino acid taken in the kidneys, converted to L-arginine, and then goes into the same pathway. Simply just breaks down as we age, and the more cardiovascular disease we have, the more brittle that our arterioles become, the less nitric oxide that we have, and that vicious downward spiral continues. So we need to break that cycle. You need to break that cycle with high levels of nitrates in your actual diet, which is where this path comes from. This is my preferred way of getting nitrates. And what happens is when nitrates are ingested orally inside the mouth, in the salivary glands, with the bacteria and the enzymes that are found there, convert nitrate into nitrite, which brings me to an important consideration. There's some conflicting research out there on whether mouthwash affects that conversion. Because if you think about what mouthwash does, and that it actually inhibits in bacterial growth. It kills bacteria in the mouth. Now, some of the studies say that your normal, like your Listerines or Scopes or those, don't create that destruction of healthy bacteria. It's more the prescription variety of mouthwashes that definitely, that for sure I know, will kill the bacteria in the mouth. For me, I like to just err on the side of caution, and just for at least an hour or two, don't consume any mouthwash before having a diet rich in nitrates. So then once that nitrate is converted into nitrite, it then enters into the stomach, mixes with the acidic environment there and the other enzymes, and of course forms nitric oxide. This tends to be a quicker pathway to success as far as it comes to nitric oxide production. So the question becomes, what foods can I eat to help me boost my natural levels of nitric oxide production, or nitrates? Well, here's a list of them. Arugula, spinach, collard greens, celery, beets, beet greens, carrots, bok choy, rhubarb, Swiss chard, kale, and I didn't even put it on here and I'm ashamed to admit it, but exercise. Don't forget to get your cardiovascular exercise, even if it's just 10 minutes of brisk walking, 10 minutes out the door, 10 minutes back. You can easily start to boost some of your levels of nitric oxide production. Also, a nitrate supplement like you find in Kyani's Nitro FX or Nitro Extreme, which provides the equivalent of about a cupful of spinach in nitrates. It's a convenient way to enhance the benefits of your supplementation program and, of course, your nutritional efforts. Thank you for joining us on today's episode, and we certainly hope you enjoyed the information that we shared. In fact, we'd love to hear from you. Feel free to post your comments and your questions below. Also, if you would like to continue the conversation, make sure that you interact with us on Facebook at Kyani Inc., and you'll be able to access more world-class health and wellness information to live your optimum health potential. Not to mention, of course, subscribe to this channel for weekly episodes designed to help you to awaken your inner pharmacy, which is far more powerful than any outer pharmacy. Again, thank you for joining us here at Kyani, where together we experience more.